Peace up, A-Town.
All right, take two on the live. If you guys were here before, give me a take two in the comments. You guys saw we had some bugs. That's all right, though. That happens on live. I said congrats to the Eagles. I'll say it again. We'll wait for Brandon to come in. He's going to join our live. And what we learned, you got to be on a cell phone to go live. All right, Miss O'Neill, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Jerry, appreciate you turning in. I know Teresa saw you guys on before as well. Hope some of you guys come in. Teresa, you're back. Good. Good to have you back. Loving your lives, your 30-day challenge. That's awesome. Waiting for Brandon. David, good morning. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. We're waiting for Brandon to come in. He should be in any second now. We're going to add him to the live. Any Eagles fans out there excited this morning? Give me a big thumbs up if you're an Eagles fan. Oh, I love that. Congrats, David. Big win, buddy. Big win. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invite Brandon now. We're going to get going. This is a little old school. I'm excited for Brandon to share you guys what he does. Share a little bit of his story. All right, we got him. Brett, good morning, man. Good to have you. All right, we got a good crowd in, so while we're waiting for Brandon to come on, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what we've been doing and what's going on today. I want to talk about social media, and this is really, I'm excited to bring Brandon on, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. And I'm really excited for Brandon to show you. So Brandon wanted to dance, so Brandon, we're going to do some dancing at the end. We'll definitely go ahead and get that while Facebook's bringing them in, guys. But I love doing these co-lives. It's been a great way to share information. It's been a great way to bring people in. And we got Brandon coming in here, which is awesome. You're sideways now, but you're good. All right. Yep, there we go. Straight up. And like I said, the great thing is, you heard me talk about this the other day about the lives not being perfect. It's really a great way to, bring people in, have them with you. I love bringing people on the live. We learned today you got to have the phone on, which is good. And you can't do it through some laptop. So, hey, we're learning, which is awesome. So, super, super excited to have Brandon here. Brandon, I know you were getting over the flu, so appreciate you turning in. And Brandon, I could talk you up, but a quick introduction on Brandon. Brandon's actually a former student of mine, which is really cool. So that's why I put the student becomes a teacher. And him and I have been working on some projects together, which have been awesome. He's been really helping with some websites I've been working on, some SEO and social. So Brandon, I'll let you introduce yourself to the audience here and share a little bit about what you do and your area of expertise, and then we'll have some Q&A. How's that sound?
That sounds great. No, you basically had said it all. I'm Brandon Gill, I'm a former student of yours, and it's pretty interesting to walk into the office of your former teacher to speak about other things, and then you see the same poster that's on the wall from when you were a student originally. You're just like, wow, it's kind of it just takes you back, just a different feel. There it is, the Shawshank Redemption poster. Right there at that when you would give your lectures, I was like, oh my god. It was, it was just business has just brought us together again. I currently am the founding president of Gill Ventures LLC, which is we do full service digital online marketing, everything from website development to online solutions, business automation, social media, SEO, you name it, and we pretty much take care of it all.
Very cool. Very cool. So, and that's something I've really been focusing on because I believe 2018 is especially the year of social media. I mean, the Super Bowl was a great example of that last night. I can't tell you how many Super Bowl commercials were not a surprise because I had already seen them online. You saw social media even in the halftime show with Justin Timberlake dancing in the audience. That kid taking a selfie with him is now famous. He's all over the internet this morning. I think when we look at social media, and it's always interesting when I talk to my clients about it because it's something I push them to use to market and grow their business. The idea of how do you really leverage social media to grow your business? We know there's a lot of ways you can pay for it, but what are some of the ways that don't cost any money, Brandon, that you use social media to leverage and grow your business?
Well, one of the ways that people neglect or people kind of, don't really want to do and avoid doing is, using all their platforms to leverage each other. A lot of people don't like to use their personal platform, to leverage their business platform. And, that's just like an untapped market for people that, not only support you, know who you are, know your credibility, but it's also a good chance to get organic growth Facebook makes it very tough for you to grow and get views, outside of your own audience. So the more audiences that you're able to bring in, the more likely you're able to capture somebody that's interested in what you're trying to, speak about, what you're trying to sell, whatever your service, product may be. You have your biggest support group right there, and you're kind of doing yourself a disservice by not utilizing them.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's that, that idea too of looking at who is in your network as well. I always talk about that, your news feed and what you see on social media, I think is so much comprised of the people you follow, the groups that you're involved in. The Growing Bold Project is one that I've really enjoyed because I feel like it's connected me with a lot of people out there that I've met, some that I think are even on the live today. And even, the social media experts that are out there that are helping people with social media marketing, like Brian Fryer, yourself, Justin, who I was on with last week. I see a lot of people out there too that are assisting people grow their social media, which I love, in various fields, real estate, network marketing, all of that. And you and I talk about this all the time when we look at clients, when is the time too for a client to invest though in having someone manage their social media, and what does that entail, right? Like what should you be paying someone to do to manage your social media, and what's the advantage of that? Like when I was on with Justin last week, he was talking about it's really a time thing, right? It's something where he's helping people manage social media accounts. It's saving up time. But where do you feel like you look at someone's business and you say, man, that person seriously needs me to do some social media management for them?
Yeah, well, definitely when people aren't reaching into their, I guess their market, where specifically, like hashtags, different things like that, to that could get them outreach in their industry. A lot of business owners, a lot of people fail to neglect that, and how special that is. I was actually speaking to a client that was doing his own social media, and he had like 6,000 followers, and I'm like, wow, it's impressive. But he's like, yeah, but I'm only getting 60 likes. I don't know what's up with that. And what he didn't really recognize was that, I showed him my profile, which I only have, I'm not very active on Instagram, for example, for my business profile, but I have 200 followers, but I was getting close to 80 likes, on my content. So I was like, what's the difference there? And the difference is the expertise of targeting your market, targeting your industry, and then knowing who to reach out to, how to reach out to them, and how to saturate that hashtag, whatever that specific niche is that you're trying to reach out to not only get followers, but to get engaging followers. And what I guess like the point is where people need to have their social media taken over is, like you had said, like time saving. A lot of business owners have a lot of headaches that they need to deal with. A lot of like issues that that are more I guess attentive than social media, and it's very time consuming. So when you need someone to just take that over for you, because there's so many things that you could read online that if you just put in the time, you could do social media on your own. This is an industry that everything is online. You could just learn, and then with experience, you could figure things out. But a lot of people don't have time for that. So, when that's getting in the way of your business goals, then it's definitely time to let a professional, take over your social media campaigns.
And, I think too, one of the things you mentioned kind of like genuine followers and authentic followers and following leads and all that. It's, how do you combat with the hashtags and things like that? I know on Instagram, there's a lot of those automatic bots that comment and follow and all that. Facebook, I don't think it's as prevalent. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, how do you combat that and identify, when you're getting that engagement on social media? Okay, maybe this is someone I can convert to a lead. So for example, if I'm a real estate agent or if I'm a network marketer, like what are the things I want to look for in those comments, especially on Instagram? Because I think, I agree with you. I feel with hashtags on Instagram, I get so much more engagement. But how do you filter out the genuine versus the ungenuine, and how do you engage that group?
Well, it's just kind of like retargeting. Bots are actually, a great time saver, and they really do their job, and they really go in and they like and they comment and they engage, because Instagram is very based off their algorithm is very based off engagement, and if you don't engage, you're going to lose traction. And what those bots allow you to do is to save time, and they do all that for you. It's very time consuming to go in and like people in your industry, to follow them, to comment. It's time consuming. So those bots help out with that. I guess the time to where you need to consider doing that manually is when you start seeing that the bots are doing the most that they can, and they're not getting as targeted as you'd like them to, or they're just kind of like getting out of that fine line. Sometimes you'll see that bots, if you don't set their boundaries, they kind of go outside of your industry, or they go into like international accounts, let's say, and let's say you only want to focus on domestic accounts because you can't do international shipping for your product. There's many different reasons as to why you need to handle them manually, and want to transfer that over. But for the most part, bots are great. Bots are
Awesome.
definitely a plus and a time saver. Just have to know how to use them and when the limitation is on when you need to handle it yourself.
Are you able to use them on multiple platforms, or are they just exclusive to Instagram kind of currently?
It's exclusive to Instagram. I mean, I'm sure that there are probably other third-party apps there that work with other, platforms. But like Facebook, for example, you're not going to be able to find that. That's something that you have to do like manually. You have to do. Facebook's very good about making you use their paid social media advertising because they want you to spend money on there. They want you to see results, and they kind of like get outside of your organic boundaries. You kind of need to put money in for Facebook. Or you
Very
need
cool.
to either do that or go into like Facebook groups. There's many different ways to do it. But like, as far as like bot automation, Facebook's pretty tough.
Very cool. Very cool. Interesting. Interesting. So, being, as you mentioned, you were my student, I was a teacher, and I spent a lot of my entrepreneurial career in ed tech and still do a lot of work in the ed tech community, as well as, marketing for businesses and things like that. I would say, though, next to education, social media marketing probably has the most acronyms that I've seen, and really understanding kind of what they mean. I've been pitched by many people on managing social media or designing things, and it's just like SEO and all these different things that they throw out. I mean, what are if you're kind of like me, maybe on social media, understand it a little bit, kind of been using live to engage an audience. But what are the things, like if I'm starting to shop around someone to manage my social media and really do my internet marketing, maybe my business is blowing up in retail or real estate type situation, what are the things that I want to, like, what are like the three key buzzword terms that I should know are very valuable and not get confused by? And then what are the ones that people kind of throw out there as fluff? So
Okay.
that would be
Well,
my two questions.
no, the industry is always changing. You know what I mean? So like SEO was a big buzzword. Everyone's like, oh, SEO, SEO. Man, you can't go anywhere in your business without SEO. And organic SEO, yes, that's true today. And not that you can't get anywhere, but it's definitely helpful. But what you definitely want to focus on is SEM, which is just general search engine marketing. Paid SEO, I guess, is another way to phrase it. But that's talking about AdWords. That's talking about Google AdWords, which is great because it's not only efficient on your money if you have a tight advertising budget, but it also is based on results. Whether your result is getting brand awareness, whether your result is converting leads, converting emails, making a purchase, whatever the case may be. Google AdWords is very good about about making the most of your money and charging you based off your conversions. So I think that SEO or SEM, paid SEO, is the way to go. I mean, other than that, I mean, social media just really is relevant, based off of what your industry is and what you're trying to accomplish. But as far as like social media, there aren't really any, acronyms that I could think of. But I would just, I'm just really big on AdWords. SEM, paid SEO. That's like where you definitely need to start off to have your business grow.
Okay. And that's helping on the, I know too, every time I register a website, I get the calls, on, hey, do you want to register your domain with Google and get, your Google, page up and going and all that, so is that kind of in that realm of that area? Is that what I should be looking at if I'm kind of a new business
I'm sorry,
owner, just
can you say
started a
that one more time?
business and yeah. Say it again.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? You broke up a
Yeah,
little.
like every time I register a website on GoDaddy, I get a phone call about someone calling me saying, "Hey, do you want to register your domain with Google?" And they want to charge me $500 to register my domain with Google, and I get set up the
Yeah.
page where it shows my business and the address and all that. Is
Yeah.
that kind of what you're saying in the Google thing with Google AdWords and the SEO and all that,
Well,
or
that's not really, but they kind of go hand in hand. They're probably talking about indexing your business online with Google, which means like if someone's going to search you online. So let's say um, Gill Ventures, for example, people want to go on and they search it up. If you want to see like the address bar and your pictures of your business and like the website, like when you search a business online, like what comes up on
right?
the rectangle on the top right, that's essentially like what they would probably be asking you. I'm not really too sure. I'm sure like just from what you're telling me, from what it sounds like, they're probably just trying to index your business on Google, and And yeah, and what was I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
No, no, that was it.
Oh,
So I
and
mean, I think
okay.
it's important from the standpoint of I know like a lot of people start businesses and the first thing you do is usually you go you sign up on Sunbiz and then you register your domain. And I think getting those phone calls, I know I get them pretty frequently. So I've feathered some of them out, but I think that's a good answer of understanding that when you get these calls, it is good to contact somebody maybe that a little more local, someone that you could work with that could help get you that full social media presence, not just registering you with a couple of pictures online. That's something you can even do or find a video like you were saying to learn to do, or get with somebody that could really help you set up your SEO business and really allow you to go in that direction. So very cool, very cool. So appreciate it, man. Neat, neat. Anything else generally you think you kind of want to share as far as what you do with your business, social media, kind of your experience? I know you and I talked about that in entrepreneurship has been it's been a journey, and the thing I love is you're still very young, and I think you've learned a lot. What advice would you give to people that are looking to get into this industry, because it is so tempting, right? It'd be so much fun to start a business managing people's social media and doing things like that. Like, what advice would you give to people that want to kind of get to where you're at right now?
Um, well, number one is patience. That's the biggest thing in any kind of business that you're trying to pursue. Number two, this is a great industry to get in. It's just really a lot of like cost of time, and then depending on what you're doing, like the costs are relatively low. If I mean, depends on whether you're talking about tech or social media, et cetera, et cetera. But just definitely differentiate yourself, definitely gain experience. And the biggest thing that I learned in my industry is just kind of like, or just in general, I guess, is never forget to cater to the business that you're becoming, and not just the business that you want to be. So, for example, me starting off, I was like, social media, AdWords, just business growth in general. Um, but people were giving me jobs for websites. I was getting hit up 99% of the time for a website job. And I'm like, well, I have basic knowledge on websites. So what I did was I grew my knowledge, I grew my ability, I grew my team. I built out a fantastic, website and tech team. And, because I catered to the business that I was becoming, I was able to, tack on additional services, which were my business growth, like my AdWords. They all go hand in hand. So, don't ignore the business that you're becoming or the business that people are demanding you to be. Don't let your own goals of your business or what you thought in your mind get in the way of that, because it's going to hinder your growth. And there is like always the potential for you or the ability for you to grow off of what you want to do, opposed to you know opposed to like what you really don't want to do. I didn't really want to do websites in the beginning, but now I
Right.
love doing website jobs, and that accounted for, like I said, 99% of the business beforehand, which turned into 99% of AdWords and social media business. So just make sure you cater to the business that you're becoming, and don't just like be blind to it. Just be very open and fluid.
Very cool. Very cool. The other thing is I always love exposing people to new people and different things they do. So definitely, if you guys don't know Brandon or you're not present, definitely like him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram as well. He is very entertaining and engaging. I'll have him post all his contact information, his website, just good stuff on kind of what he's doing in his journey. It's always good, I think when people who are involved in this type of industry are sharing that, and Brandon does a great job of that. That being said, Brandon, who is it that you follow in the industry that maybe you suggest the people that you kind of learn from and some of the places you go to get some of the tips? Because, in this industry, like you said, it's always changing. You never stop learning. Who are kind of the guys you turn to?
No, absolutely. I mean, I definitely get a lot of my knowledge from like email campaigns, different little newsletters that I sign up to. There are like a couple great ones on SEM and SEO, and actually, I'm gonna get it up now. But these
Yeah.
guys are fantastic, and they have everything from social media to SEO, and that would be I can't even remember the name. Sorry about that. But as far as
Yeah.
like people
No.
go, I'm not really a big individual, like a follower of people. Like there's some, I pick up things here and there from different people, but I guess Tony Robbins would be my guy for sure,
Awesome.
because he
Yeah.
utilizes a
Yeah.
lot of great platforms, and he's also great about taking care of like the mind and the body, because that goes hand in hand with your business, your personal life and your business life, or as much as you want to separate them, they're one and the same, and one affects the other for sure, and one definitely influences the other.
100%. Yeah, I've been real big on that this year about I think the physical and mental definitely affect your ability to grow your wealth, right? Because if you're not in shape, if you're not taking care of your body, you're definitely tired. And we know entrepreneurship is a grind, right? So it wears on your body. And I think, one of the things I did in my entrepreneurship journey is not take care of that, and definitely went the Tony Soprano route. Got very heavy, did all that, and it did make business harder. And I found since I started committing to things and getting healthy and surrounding myself with people who have that same goal of business. And if you guys want to learn more about that, I don't want to go too much off on a tangent on that. But if you definitely want to learn about that, DM me. I'd love to tell you guys a little bit more about what I've done to step up my health regimen and my health routine to get my business more focused. And we'll definitely have Brandon put those links to those email campaigns. Are a great way. They're a great way to grow your business, first of all, too. Like, I know we hear spamming and email has changed a lot, but definitely I think developing an email list and developing an email campaign is another great way to get in front of people. So if you don't do that, make sure you do that. And we'll have Brandon after this, make sure he puts in the comments there some of those email campaigns that you guys could sign up for that he does. So if you're interested in learning about SEO or SEM, or like I said, you can reach out to Brandon and contact him directly. So, Brandon was most excited to do the live, I think, to dance, correct?
Oh yeah, no, that's the part I was looking forward to. I was hoping
all right.
all the boring stuff so we could, start.
Yeah, so we could dance. Really, this is just all about dance. So I'm gonna cue up the song. I went a little Usher, Little John, and Ludacris. Yeah, that was when I showed Hitch in class. Everybody loved that. So that I figured that was a good song for us. Yeah. So that was I guess everyone said I look like Will Smith. So I all my students thought I looked like Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, the other guy.
One of the same. The
personality,
the bravado, everything, all of it.
Yeah, everyone said I look like Kevin James. I want to look like Will Smith, but I guess I had more of the Kevin James look. So we're gonna dance it out. But Brandon, anything else you want to add before we close out?
No, that's it. Just start your week strong. Keep it going. Patience.
All right, man. Congrats to the Eagles. So we're gonna dance it out. I know I got to get some new moves in. Brandon knows a little better than I do. I heard to bring some dabbing in. If you tuned in till the end, make sure you give us a like, big thumbs up. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, 2018, baby, getting healthy and wealthy. So make sure you guys are doing that. Instagram, make sure you guys check out. You can see Brandon dancing. Instagram's just seeing me, so I'm going to close Instagram out. All right, Brandon, man, I appreciate it, buddy. Have a great week.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Peace out, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Like and share the video if you guys liked it.